to do them all, so it doesn't matter where you start. So let's start with this guy. All right, what is this point? Everybody agree that's 0, 2? So you plug in 0 for x and 2 for y. You don't have to show any work. You can do it in your head, but I'm going to do the work over here. Plug in 0, 2, and what would you get? And you have to draw through that dot a slope of -2. So each dot, you have to draw the slope that you find. You don't get to draw a random one. So 0, -2. So through this dot, I have to draw a slope of -2. So through this dot, I aim down 2 over 1. I'm going to aim at this guy. So I'm going to draw a slope of -2. So I plug in each point. And I can do this 14 more times. Not fun. So on the AP test, I'm sitting there going like, all right, this is a good 2 minutes of my life. I have 15 minutes to do this problem. This is just part A, and I still have part B and C to do. So you want to do this quickly, but I want to make this line I'm going to redo it. It's got to be a good time. I can't be too long. I got to try to aim at that dot. All right, let's work our way to here. That point is the point 1, 2. So I plug in 1, 2. Again, you don't have to show any work. I'm doing that our first one here. All right, 1 take away 2 will be what? -1. So I got to draw -1. Now, what would that look like through here? Well, that would be down 1 over 1. So I aim at, there's no dot here, but you know a dot would be about right there. So I'd aim at that spot. All AP is checking for is it less steep than that one. So that's what a -1 would look like. So do you guys agree this could take a while, doing 15 of these? So there's a shortcut. Here's a shortcut that we should learn to take. Isn't 0 probably the easiest one to draw? So the key to starting these, set your derivative, just write this in here, set your derivative equal to 0. If you don't understand this, it's not a mandatory thing, it's just a helpful thing. Alright, so don't go, oh, I don't know how to do this. Well, then just start picking every point. Alright, just takes a little longer for you. Alright, set equals 0. Tell me how I would solve that. What can I get from that? What can I do with the y? I got my cursor in the way here. So this is, if I send the y over, I get x equals y. So what are the points x equals y? Give me some, what's that mean? What points are x equals y? 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. So every one of these points, these guys, -2, -2, -1, -1, all these points are 0. So at every one of those, I get 0. Do you see how you can find the zeros quickly? So if you set your derivative equals 0, you can find out where all the zeros are right off the bat. All right? Now that AP test scores it as such. They go, all the zeros count as 1 point. All the rest count as 1 point. They make it worth 2. Because of how much work you're doing, I usually make it worth 3. So I'll go, all right, this section's 1. I'll give you 1 for the zeros and 1 for this section. I'll give you a little bit more points because you're doing a lot of work, right? So I make it a little bit more worth your while during our test. But I just want you to know AP goes 2, right? So those zeros are good. They're nice flat. All right, so we just got 5 of 15 done there. All right, let's finish these others. I need to pick up the speed of our time because I have a lot to say. But I need to make sure that you guys understand the idea. So let's do a few more here. This guy right here, what point is it? -1, 1. So I plug in -1, 1. If I plug in -1, 1, what do I get? So I have to draw a slope of -2. All right, so if I draw a -2, I'm going to be aiming at that dot. Now, does everyone understand why I said that dot? Because -2 would go down 2n over 1. I don't have to have perspection, but I can shoot for it. All right. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little tip of this problem here, the way it works. Do you guys see how these were both -2? It turns out every one of these is -1. All right, so if I plug in 0, 1 here, this one's -1, so it's going to have a slope of 1. This one's going to be a slope of 1. So these are all -1. So go ahead. These were -2. These were -1. And these were all 0 in this case. These are going to all be what? They're all going to be 1. You're correct. So these are all going to be 1. But let's test them out. If you plug in 1, 0, you 1. So slope of 1 would be a 45-degree angle. A 45-degree angle just aims at the next dot. So in any dot sequence, that's a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. Okay. All right, so 1, 0. This is a 45. 1, 1. Those are all 1. All right, what's the slope of these guys? 2. If you try them out, try 1, -1. 1 minus -1, that's 2. So the slope of 2 through this guy would aim at up 2 over 1. He would also aim at this location. This guy would aim at 2 at that location. So I picked this problem because so that way you can see all of them next to each other. You guys can see what a -2 looks like, a -1, a 0, 1, and 2. You can see you can kind of compare them all next to each other and how they should look. All right. Can you kind of tell what the original graph looks like? Kind of ugly, huh? If I did more dots, you'd see a much better look. But you're like, 15 was terrible.